All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to episode 15 already of the Altered States Unplugged podcast. I am one half of your dynamic duo, Kyle Strubing. I am here with the other half, my life partner, my wife partner, Jojo Strubing. Jojo, baby, how we doing today?
We are good. I am always excited to talk about goals and goal setting. So today's episode is one I'm excited.
Yes, setting goals, easy to do. Executing goals, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
But yes, no, it's super exciting. Year's coming to a close. We are coming up. We are full throat of the holidays, so it's about that time. Of course, time to reflect, time to focus on the positives, as well as some things, to do better at, and certainly not beat ourselves over the head or anything, but to get ready and to get excited for the new year. So yes, absolutely. I'm excited too.
Yeah. So in this episode, we're going to really dive into setting your vision for 2025. It's all about creating that vision board, but not necessarily just the actual act of creating a vision board, but really taking time to reconnect internally and look back internally, like Kyle said, reflecting on your past year, and then really thinking about what do you want to accomplish in the coming year in all different areas of your life. So don't worry, we're going to walk you through exactly how to do that with some tips and tricks on really how to set those goals in a way that you can stick to them in this coming year. So we do have a free resource that goes hand in hand with this episode. It is an actual vision board worksheet. You can actually pick up this worksheet in store if you are a customer of ours, but you can also download it online at alteredstateswellness.com/15. It's a free download. So go grab that now. It will make a lot of sense as we walk through this episode. You can kind of follow along.
Yes. Gotta have the resources. It's nice to see it in paper, right in front of your face, so that you can, kind of break it down and make it more effective for you, for sure. So, but let's get into it. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right. So first thing we want to talk about, it might seem simple, but it holds a ton of power, right? Choosing your word of the year. It's more important than a word, I would say. It's almost like something that's going to guide you through the ups and downs of the next 12 months. I know we've referred back to it multiple times throughout the year. Our word of last year was expand.
Expand.
That was big. It was something that we did. It's something that we lived, and we really took the last year and kind of dug in, and that's what it's all about through the franchising and additional services and really stepping that up. Doing what we currently did and kind of taking that to the next level, replicating it. And it definitely something we lived throughout the year, I would say. The goal of that is to really, it just dialed in our focus for that. And if it wasn't something that we weren't aligned with, I'm not saying we lived by it. I didn't get it tattooed on my forehead or anything like that. But it just kept us in line of what we were trying to do, and then to set us up for then this upcoming year. And that was very big for us. But that's really what it did, though, is it just set our mindset, right? It kind of gave us something at a 30,000 foot level to really help simplify and reduce the noise, almost like being into a float tank, right?
Yeah.
So that you could hone in on that one specific thing of expanding. And really it was about more, quality over quantity. And that's the principle behind just that one word. You sit here and say, well, we want to expand our business and da-da-da-da-da. No, it was a lot of things, whether it be mentality, mindset, physical, emotional, things like that. And you really want to focus more on something that's deep, and that holds, as opposed to like this all-encompassing thing, right?
Yeah. And we're going to walk you through in a minute how to select your word for the year. But I know when we were going through and really thinking about 2024 and what our word of the year was going to be, Yeah, when we sat there and thought about our goals for starting the franchise and growing more locations and adding new services, and we wanted to focus too on our family and like expanding like our time with them because we were focusing a lot on
Right.
work and things like that. And so it just made a lot of sense, after we set those goals when we started bouncing around ideas for this word. And it just stays in the back of your mind, and it's something I put up in my office and I look at throughout the year, and it really kind of helps centralize all those goals into what is that one common thing that you can apply to all areas of your life.
Right.
So and then what did we decide our 2025 of the year
So for
word?
2025, we are going to go with execute. It kind of, because last year we were doing so much expansion, we developed a ton of stuff. This last year was a lot of communicating with consultants and lawyers to get the franchise stuff running. And we now have the blueprint. We
Yeah.
have it there. So all we want to do is execute on
Yeah.
what we have set up. So we won't go through, so now we kind of created this recently. So I'm thinking about more of, we just want to have that laser focus and not try to pivot or take the
Yeah.
easy way out here. It's just, this is what it is. This is the ditch that needs to be dug,
Yeah.
per se, and let's just go do it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
we replicated what we did with Richardson location, and now
Right.
we just want to go execute that time and time again and learn from that. So
Yeah, it was huge. It just really that resonates for me because it seems almost kind of harsh but very simple.
yeah,
I really like that because
this
it's
might get fun with you. Execute, Jimmy.
I'm the yes. I like it because JoJo execute. Yes, she's kind of more the visionary, and I'm the guy that goes, well, how are we gonna do that? All right, I'll go do it. I'm not saying that you're not. I'm like the
Yeah.
doer.
Yeah.
I'm the motion, the up at 5 a.m. rocking and rolling. Like that's my style. And that's I think a lot of reason why we work so well because
Yeah.
we play off of that real well. But it's.
Yeah,
This is right in my wheelhouse. I'm excited for it.
for sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So, how do you go about choosing your word? I want you to start by really reflecting on this past year. Consider what worked well for you. Like, where were you the most happiest? Was it, in your personal life? Was it in your financial life? Was it in your work life? And then on the flip side, where could you have done better? Where were you finding those challenges? Was it, maybe with your fitness and health, or where were you running into those roadblocks? And really think about both of those things and take some time to do that. Maybe you could come float about it.
Sure, yes.
Maybe you can journal about it. We'll dive into some more ideas here, but really taking that time to reflect before you start thinking about the next year is going to help you. See where you want to do better and how you want to do better.
Right.
If we don't take that time to reflect, then, we're really just guessing. And, we may find that there's areas of our lives we don't need to focus on, because we have that down, right? We've got the habits in place. But there might be areas that you're like, man, I really neglected my fitness this past year. And
Sure.
that's somewhere I want to focus on. And so take some time in your vision board worksheet. You'll see different areas that for you to think about. So it's going to give you some ideas to kind of get the juices flowing there. But let those reflections really guide you on this word and really take some time to think about it. So once you've done that reflecting, I want you to turn and pivot to what are your goals for each of those areas. And then as you look at through all of that, a word should generally come to you
Right.
that kind of resonates in all of those areas.
Some themes should start to show up as you're going through your goals, and and then like we said, kind of look at a 30,000 foot level,
Yeah.
and then that generally is kind of how we came up with ours,
Yeah.
right? But moving on to a tool that kind of complements the word of the year, right? We'll always talk about a lot of this is like, I'm real big on the visualization and manifestation. This is going to help with that tool. We talk about it in the float tanks all the time.
Yeah.
Visualize the ball coming in, you jumping up, catching it, tucking it at Cowboy Stadium goes crazy, whatever that is for you,
Yeah.
right? But this is the same thing with the vision board. The vision board is something that it's a visual representation of the goals and dreams, the actual manifestation of as you start to live this word and what comes of it, is it, you and your buddies popping bottles of champagne in the club, a Ferrari, whatever, or something simpler, whether it be inner peace or, self-confidence, travel, whatever. It doesn't have to be materialistic. It can be a feeling. It can be things like that. Closer relationship to God, whatever that is for you. But the idea is that it is visual for you. So we're visual beings. You have to see it so that it almost feels like you can touch it. But it's a collage of images, quotes, symbols, and things like that depict kind of what you want to bring into your life. Now, for me, I'm not going to go through magazines and cut them up, right?
That'll be me.
That'll be you. But for me, it might be some clips that I store in a file on my laptop or something like that, or some videos, things like that, or even mental images that when I think of this word, it really triggers it, and I'll go and meditate on it. Like I said, I'm just not going to cut that stuff out. It's just not going to happen. But really, like, why you're doing this, that's the what, right? And we've seen it. Who's ever worked in, corporate America in one of those cubicle hells has seen the person who's banging away at the computer, and then in the corner there's that vision board there. And as the year goes along, it kind of gets inundated by Post-it notes and all that stuff. And you're just like, yeah, I mean, you're not kind of living it, but it's good to go back to it. That's kind of the idea. But you can really visualize it, and that's going to help you manifest it. It's all about visualization and manifestation, seeing in your mind the aspirations in front of you every single day is going to bring you back to it and encourage your mind and your actions to align with achieving those things, right? Just like we talk about in the float tank. It's the most powerful way to do that. And like Joe just said, come and float about it. Like, it's, if you're in the beginning stage of what's my word, what's my whatever, the float tank is a perfect time to do that. Or meditating in your daily meditation, or whenever you meditate, prayer it's great for that, because things tend to come in, that inspiration comes when you don't have all the sensory overload, shameless plug for floating. But I mean, it's there. It's
for sure. I mean, that's exactly what it is. That's
exactly how we use floating.
It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. 100%. 100%.
I know, it comes off cheesy sometimes thinking about vision boarding, but it does. Like, there's incredible research out there. There are people that have shared, like, oh, I've had this vision board up and there's been this mountain and I've actually found myself on this exact mountain. I didn't even know where it was. I know it's crazy, but like you said, like, your mind truly manifests these things, and somehow you find your way to these places when you see it every day. So, people will put, cheesy things. One time I did a vision board like workshop, and, you put like the $1 million on there, or this and the that. And, but you can get creative with this. You can put anything you want. You can actually cut things out, print things out, or I've even seen apps that you can do like a wallpaper on your phone. So you just look at it on your phone on the backdrop every day.
And one thing I will say about like the monetary things, like, what does that money buy you? Like, take it a whole nother step further. I always like to say that when we visualize, and especially with customers in the tank, like, yes, you have a stack of, $1 million, but like, what does that mean to you? That's something that's tangible and really, not, it's worth $1 million, but it's not worth that much. But what does that mean to you? Is that greater happiness? Is that, I mean, for me, financial success equals freedom. So for me, it's my goal is really the freedom of it, and the money being a tool for that. So it's really, I always try to coach and stuff on one step further than what, I get that contract. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we sit there and we go, well, I got that $1 million. You're not, you're never gonna be like, oh, I'm done. And then it's just a number that you're kind of attaining, so just kind of really take it one step further. I would for sure recommend.
Yeah. And like you talk about when you talk about visualization in the float tank, how does it feel when you get there? What does that look like? What are all the sensations that you're feeling, smelling, hearing, things like all that.
Right.
All right. So as we mentioned, we do have a free resource. So download that at alteredstateswellness.com/15, and it will give you some ideas. But here are some of the ideas that are included on that worksheet. Number one is health. So think about what areas of your health do you want to focus on this year? Is it more float sessions? Is it running a marathon this year? Definitely won't be on mine, but my brother's probably will be. Doing more yoga classes. Is it maybe, focusing on supplements and vitamins, or just getting up and walking more throughout the week? So think about that when it comes to your health. The next one is career. So I think we all of us that have jobs, or even, those of us that are stay-at-home moms, there are areas that maybe you want to do better in or improve upon. So do you want to, chase after that promotion, or maybe your goal with career is just to find more work-life balance? Maybe you're like us and you work all the time, and maybe you need to, limit those hours and things like that. The next is personal growth. So this is an area I think that often gets put to the wayside by many of us, but, looking at those areas in your life that you just want to go learn. Is it a new hobby? Is it, maybe a new skill or a new language, a little side course that you want to take? There's lots of different areas that I think we can look at on that personal growth side that, like I said, is often the first thing we let go. Next is relationships. So those connections with your friends and family. For us, that's something we had to be really intentional about this past year. We had really, let a lot of that go by focusing on our business. And those of you who own small businesses will totally understand this. When you work on evenings and weekends and holidays, family sometimes doesn't get the
and for
focus
those of you
need.
that are building brand new businesses, like that's the cost of it, though.
Yeah.
It's, but it's like JoJo said, it's about a balance. Like, my family, I hope, understands.
Yeah.
But that's the cost of what it takes to work for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's great financial gains and the freedom is great, but it's not that free.
Yeah.
So you have to understand, like, you have to put it in perspective for yourself.
For
right?
sure.
It's a cost that I'm glad we paid, because we're in this position now that we can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, like one year we didn't focus on it, and the next year we were able to.
Sure.
We had to find ways to make that happen. During the week, we're going to come have dinner. It won't be on a Sunday, things like that. Finances. So setting savings goals or investment plans, think about those things. I know that can cause a lot of stress in a lot of our lives, is thinking about finances, but taking some time, and I highly recommend you do it with your spouse, to really set those goals together and say, hey, like, let's set aside this money for X, Y, and Z this year, or let's pay off this debt this year. Really having that common goal can be beneficial. And then the last one is hobbies and leisure. So making times for things that bring you joy, like vacations, self-care, thinking about that. So really, when you think about your vision board, you want to think about all of these aspects, not just one. You can't just only think about professional or only think about relationships. You want to touch on that health, career, personal growth, relationships, finances, and hobbies and leisure.
What's a new hobby you want to try out in 2025?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
I don't know that it's new, but something I really want to go back to is yoga, because I was doing a lot of that and I found so much joy. And then this past year, I didn't.
Yeah, you can have that one.
So I
can,
do want. Yeah. I know yours is going to be more like pew pew.
Yeah, no, I think I want to do jujitsu. I think I want to start it.
Okay.
I think the knees healed up enough to that. I think.
Well, Chelsea, here you.
Chelsea, our girl over there at LP. So yeah, it's right. There's really no excuses, right? But yeah, no, I think I want to get into that.
What's her business called?
It's LP Martial Arts in Louisville.
Yes,
she's fantastic. She's an actual fighter, so she puts her money where her mouth is.
Yeah.
Top 5 favorite customers that we have.
Go check them out in Louisville.
Yeah, if you're
local. They
local.
just got a upgraded gym. I highly recommend.
Yeah, they just did a full build out and got everything new. It's great. We totally align with these small business owners now, and she's one of them totally gets it.
Yeah.
And her and her husband Steven own the store, so they have a lot of the same. I wouldn't say struggles, but there's different challenges and stuff running a family and a family business, and it's cool to see. So go check them out. for sure. But
I love that.
we'll get into it. We'll get into kind of how to create the vision board. I know I kind of crapped on it earlier there, but from what I've seen and what I've done, right, is you want to find a big space, where you can kind of spread things out and get materials like magazines, photos, quotes, anything that really is going to inspire you. You want a larger poster board, get one of those that you had when you had to do the class presentations, you get to lug that thing around. And then you want to just complete the first half by writing down your goals for each of these sections that we went over. That's a great place to start, as well as with that resource that we have online. And then go through things like magazines and images and stuff that reflect the goals, or something that as you're looking through kind of sticks out to you, right? That catches your attention, that you really associate with. That's a fantastic way to do it. But really make sure that these images resonate to you. Get out your little glue stick there and kind of glue them to the board. Once you have that done, you want to hang it in a spot that you're going to see every day.
That's the important part.
Something that you can see that it doesn't, like I said about the cubicle over there, as it just kind of gets pushed further and further towards the corner. You want to be able to see it.
Yeah.
So that it does. And I, walk by and touch it on your way out or something,
Put it on your fridge, put it on the mirror in your bathroom, put it in your bedroom, in your closet, somewhere you're literally going to see it every day. And that's the key to vision boards being so successful, is you not having to visualize it and imagine it. You're actually seeing it, and you're seeing those words and those photos that resonate with you. So put it somewhere you're going to see it. Or if you're like Kyle and you're just journaling about it, make sure that you're still putting that on your fridge and somewhere that you're going to see it every day. Or check out those apps that, you can put them on your phone. I love that idea, because how many times a day do we just look down at our phone, and if you see that vision board on there, I mean, it's
something about the phone too, doesn't it? It's got to be tangible for me. It's like, it's like the difference between reading an audiobook.
I think I'm going to make you do one this year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe make you do vision board. If I do, I'll be sure to post photos on our Instagram. So you guys keep an eye out. All right. So, integrating this vision into your daily life is crucial. So like I said, we came up with our word of the year last year, and we would bring it up. We'd be like, remember, our goal is to expand. So if it was something, we found ourselves kind of creeping into something that we were focusing too much on the business and not enough on growing the business, we would remind ourselves, hey, we got to hit this goal this year, and we're not going to hit this goal if we're focusing on this. Setting check-ins, whether that's with yourself or with your spouse or with your team or your family. I think it's really important to have those check-ins throughout the year, or you're going to forget about it. Sure. And you'll get to the end of the year and be like, what was my goal for this year? Or what was my word of the year? So maybe once a month, once a quarter, whatever makes sense for you. And then, remember, you can pivot and change these goals. You got to be flexible as life pops up. And then most certainly come float about it. I'd love to hear your word of the year as you come pop into the store, come bring us your vision board, or tag us online. If you create a vision board, I would really love to see it. We'll definitely reshare it on our page. But
make these attainable goals too, guys.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm gonna climb Mount Everest. Like, no, you're not. Like,
maybe.
Don't
crush someone's dreams.
I'm not gonna climb Mount Everest. I can barely walk up the steps. So, make these attainable, or else it can just be discouraging. It's like that age-old thing I say all the time: how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? You want to be able to see that movement and get some small wins as you make it towards that bigger goal. Yeah.
So don't forget to go download the free resource if you haven't done so already, alteredstateswellness.com/15. And then once you pick that word of the year, tag us and share it with us on social media at Altered States Wellness. You can follow us on Instagram or Facebook. And I can't wait to hear about it. This has been a really powerful thing that we have done the past few years. So I'm excited for you to try it out and see how it works for you this year.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Cheers to making 2025 a year of a clear vision and powerful transformation. So go out and get it. We're super happy that you guys tune in with us. Hopefully you gain something from it. We definitely enjoy doing this. Until next time, stay inspired, and reminder, every day is a new opportunity to align with your best self.